Alex in Israel writes, Paul, thank you so much for your short but enlightening videos. Well, my pleasure. Thank you for watching. I keep hearing from many hi-fi reviewers that CD sound quality is so much better than streaming. Is it true? And if so, why? Why would a CD recorded at 44 kilohertz 16-bit sound better than a high-res stream? They say it's because of the higher dynamic range of CDs. But if so, what happens to the dynamic range on streaming platforms, and where does it disappear? I hope you'll help me understand this. Thanks in advance, and see you on YouTube. Well, sir, here we are, together at last. First off, I don't think what you've heard is true, part of it, and that is the dynamic range. Remember, dynamic range is controlled by bit depth. So 16 bits gives us about 96 dB of dynamic range, more than anyone needs. That's plenty. And when you stream music, if you're streaming lossless music, you have the same dynamic range. There is no difference whatsoever. And today, many streaming services will give you even higher resolution, 24-bit, which gives you even more dynamic range, all of which you can't use. I mean, this room right here probably has 30 or 40 dB of background noise. So right away, that noise is raising up this level, and so that's going to limit my dynamic range of what I can hear, because I'm not going to be able to hear the softest sounds because it's buried in this noise that's going on here. So I think that is kind of a myth that I would like to sort of dispel if I could. Plenty of dynamic range, whether it's vinyl or whether it's CDs, not a concern. But plenty of other stuff going on, and it is true today that a high-end CD player will typically sound better than a high-end streamer. But the gap is narrowing and continues to narrow. Right now, if you take a PS Audio AirLens streamer and a PS Audio SACD CD player, there's this much difference, and it ain't much. The SACD player still sounds better, but I don't think that has anything to do with the retrieval of data. I think it has to do with the way the data is presented, the way it is cleaned up, reclocked, all of that kind of good stuff. I think that's where the differences lie. And again, we've been able to narrow that gap down tremendously. And AirLens is so much better than any streamer we've ever built, and yet the stream is the same. So what's the difference? Well, an AirLens focuses on galvanic isolation, of reclocking, of taking data noisy out of a computer or the internet through a router and a the modem, all that stuff and all that noise coming in from the outside world, throwing it out, presenting reclocked, clean, galvanically isolated data that is free of all that noise. That's what changed. That's the big difference. I mean, the basic streaming guts are the same. The only thing we really did is got rid of all the noise. And that brought it this close to the CD player, the SACD player, which doesn't have all that noise to begin with. So that's the difference between the two. And I think in a year, 2 years, we're going to be at a point where there is zero difference. We're not there, but we're going to get there, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. All right. Hope that helps. Thanks. Bye.